Joining us, as promised, Damien O'Connor, Vice President of Evangelization and Faith Formation at the Knights of Columbus, from the headquarters of the Knights of Columbus in New Haven. Damien, welcome and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Bishop. It's so great to be with you. Thank you.
And great to have you. You know, this is a time when we are with our families. We appreciate the bonds that we share as families, and Into the Breach, the mission of the family. That's a very dramatic trailer. What's the goal of this new video series?
Well, thank you again for having me. The goal of the series is really to proclaim the truth and beauty of the Catholic vision of family life. And honestly, we hope that it inspires those who watch it to try to live that vision in the modern world. And I say that specifically, Bishop, because we don't live in a Christian culture anymore. So how do we live this sacramental marriage, this family life, and the vision of the Catholic faith through that vision in the modern world? And we have to be very intentional about that.
And, you know, Damien, when I was watching this trailer yesterday in preparation for this interview with you today, I just immediately thought of my brother. And he right now is in a season of engagement and getting married for this upcoming June, and just all his other guy friends who recently are married. And they truly, thank God, are men who have put on the armor of faith and they're ready to enter into these vocations of marriage. But, you know, what is the hope of this series, speaking specifically maybe for those men who are in their late 20s to early 30s who are starting their new families?
Thank you for that question. I actually have two answers to that. One, I think back to when my wife and I went through our pre-Cana weekend, and I remember Father Tom's had said to us that you will be the living sacrament, how you live your faith in your marriage. And I remember being very intimidated by that, but it really struck us that we are that living sign of the faith. And while we fail at this a lot, we strive very hard to live that. But I think the series, or at least we hope, is that it acknowledges the fact that many people are hungering to have a successful marriage, but they have no idea how to do it. And maybe it's because I'm a former teacher. We're trying to get back to the basics, to teach them how to be intentional about how you live your faith, how to pray together. What are the issues that your family's dealing with? To really come at it head on, but we need to teach them.
I was thinking over the Christmas holiday, Damien, we have at least 4 young couples who have just had their first child, and I look at them as parents now, and I think of the challenges that are before them. You were motivated to work to create this series. What are some of the ways that married couples and parents and families are under attack now?
Well, we're under attack in so many different ways. It could be from society itself. It could be technology. You're seeing a lot of addictions to pornography, addictions to other substances. I think technology is really dangerous, and I think you might agree with that. We have to be, as a dad, as a husband, I actually have to be careful and protect my family from that which I bring into my home. And just because my kids are being quiet in their bedroom doesn't mean everything's okay. And so there's the attack from all different directions. But I need to say that this isn't anything new. Satan's been trying to destroy families for forever. But we have to realize what we're dealing with here. But we do have to be intentional about how we live our faith.
And, you know, when people are beginning to prepare to watch this beautiful series that the Knights of Columbus have put out, what should they expect? Who are they expecting to hear from? What are the series? What are the different videos going to be looking like? Can you give us a little foretaste of that?
Sure. There's 5 episodes. Each one's roughly about 12 minutes long. And they're all on our website. It's kofc.org/mission of the family. And they're all free and they're downloadable. And there's also a study guide. And the study guide helps you go much deeper into some of the topics, into all the topics, rather. So one, for example, is the Catholic family in a post-Christian world. Another one is healing in the family. It's something that we don't often like to talk about, but it's something that we often need to do, whether it's between the couple themselves or maybe there's generational issues that need healing. But each one of the topics is meant to help you go much deeper into that, and then to use that study guide. And we're finding, glory to God, that it's not just couples and families that are watching it. We're also seeing grandparents that are watching it. We're seeing college students that are watching it. Maybe those that are preparing for marriage, to really help them to really prepare for marriage, but also to live that sacramental life together.
As you were speaking, I was thinking to myself, how important a resource this is, not just for example, those young couples in my parish, but for anyone who's concerned about the family and wants to strengthen and support those who have families and young children. Where can people get the study guide? We know they can watch the videos on your website, but how do they get the study guide? How do they enter more deeply into this great new resource from the Knights?
Sure. The study guide is also on our website, kfc.org/mission of the family. It's free. It's downloadable. There's a PDF on there. And we wanted to make it as accessible as possible. And just to reiterate, we really feel that so many people have never heard or seen in their own lives this Catholic vision for marriage. And I think they want it. And I think they're struggling. A lot of people are struggling in their marriages, and they're not sure what to do. And I also think that many couples, many families think that it's not enough for us to just live this vocation. There's so many problems in the world. And the series helps you to remember that salvation history was changed forever by a family, by the Holy Family. And so if we focus on our vocation and our marriage and our family, it does have a ripple effect that affects many people well beyond the walls of our home.
Damien, thank you again for just, like I mentioned before we got started here, just for taking the time to talk with Bishop and I today, and for all those who are watching as well today on Catholic TV, because I know how important the Knights of Columbus are, especially in our community here in the Boston area, and for any men who are watching as well. Hopefully you can get the spirit of joining the Knights, becoming a Knight yourself. And Damien, again, thank you for all the good work that you and your team did on this series. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Glory to God. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Damien. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Vivat Jesus.
Viva Jesus.